When it comes to story, a lot of people think of GCW, they think of these fun shows like yours, they think of death matches, but they don't really talk about the stories. I feel like the GCW gets to tell. Do you feel like GCW gets overlooked a little bit in the storytelling department compared to other promotions out there?
Man, this is where I'm going to get scandalous.
Okay.
And I'm allowed to. Here's the deal. Anybody who talks shit about GCW is trying to influence a particular mindset to make sure that it's not found out publicly that all of them rely on GCW. All of them. We are the pipeline. It's not your fucking fantasy factory, up in North Georgia. It's not your fucking NXT studio. Y'all got 200 people down there who can't cut a fucking promo or get through an arm drag. And we're putting on levels of storytelling where once these office fucks see it, they go, we got to have it. Look at the last year. Look at who's been picked up. Look at how quickly they take talent off that roster. You're sitting here looking at Brett, and he loves GCW to death, and he's going, how do we keep him here? And I go, we just have to keep making it good and keep making them want to participate and making them want to come along for the ride with us. But anyone who says the GCW, and maybe they've had their little flurries, but I always see that care put into making sure the stuff makes sense across the board. Yeah, we want to highlight new characters. We want to put on these crazy matches. We want to put some weird dream stuff together, but there's always these interweaving things going through the show. And even the way we're building the card here is like, I have these stories interwoven. I have these things built in. Billy Dixon is doing commentary on AJ Gray's show For the Culture. These are both GCW presented shows. I know this is already going to be an issue. I know this is already going to cause problems, but he wanted the match, and I said he could do the match, and AJ said he would do the match. So
what is the match? What is the match, Effy? What is the censored part of this match?
Imagine if Dusty Rhodes went to a gay bar, what would happen? If Dusty Rhodes and Pero went to a gay bar, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll make sense.
Okay. Got it.
But I hear this sometimes that, like, oh, well, they're just going to do the hack job death stuff. But you look at the way they have structured, look at Jimmy Lloyd and G-Raver. If you go back and watch the story over these years, I mean, this goes back to Chicago. This goes all the way back to Jimmy fucking G-Raver's arm up and paralyzing him and putting him out of action. And he still is regaining the use in his hand. And he has put Jimmy through a fucking I Quit match and then put him through a no rope barbed wire match. There is dense storytelling if they want to look for it, but it's much easier to go, well, it's just indie mud show trash. It's indie mud show trash. And then have all the boys sign contracts for big checks because you've seen what they are capable of. And it's perfect for your television show. But we're trying to prove that, like, this isn't the stepping stone anymore. Like, GCW is the real fucking deal. We can go big. There's no reason you can't do GCW in a 5,000 seat arena in a year. There's no reason.
Well, and at GCW, they just acquired Jersey Championship Wrestling. I just got that press release last night, and I thought that was a big step there. I mean, and you talk about GCW not just being a stepping stone. That's a big dog move right there when you take on an acquisition like that.
Yeah, and I think, I've really seen Joey Janela's interest come back pretty strongly to make sure that, this next crop of guys has an understanding. And I think they're going to use this as a really good way to not only have a safe space for wrestling in the Northeast, like what a crazy place for wrestling where everyone keeps fucking ruining things, but to also be able to give them the experience to where when they do get on those big stages and they are put in these moments where you've got to have your timing, and you've got to know what you're doing, and you've got to know your cameras, and you've got to know your stuff. We've already set up to where these are characters that are comfortable with everyone and they've seen what they're capable of. And we've been able to take the hinges off a little bit. Your starting match might be a little short, but when you have these secondary and third brands, you can expand on these characters so much more. And it keeps people participating and it keeps people wanting to see what's next. And, it keeps bringing me good opponents. Like, come on.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.